Wah, 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 wah. What's up? Happy. We won, Mom! The Super Bowl! And we get to keep the Tush Push. John Marks. Delco Steve. He's locked and loaded. He's in the chamber. Where is he? Probably taking one last drag. Fresh off a baby shower over the weekend. Delco Steve, how are you, buddy? There he is.
Why?
Yeah, what is up, dude?
Yeah, no, that's weird.
The Delco dumper has really ruined your life, man. Last week, your internet was going in and out.
Dude, it went out. It was like 10 of 9 and the internet went out. I was like, are you kidding me?
Why don't you do something about it?
It doesn't have. It's literally like once a week, and it just happens to be falling on Wednesdays now.
No respect for Delco. That's what it's got to be.
It's got to be.
What's up, dude?
How you been? What's going on?
How was the baby shower?
Baby shower was good. Everybody had a good time. I guess I should move my mic in front of me.
Yeah, that was me. Did you get everything you were looking for?
I hope so, because my house is filled with stuff.
Oh,
if we don't,
dude,
if you don't have everything, I'm worried.
No, it's over. It's over. Life as you knew it before is over, because now you're gonna have so much shit, and then you're gonna be having to get new stuff, and then you're gonna be getting rid of old stuff and everything else. So you have just begun, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, Erica spent 2 days afterwards still going through stuff and still going through stuff. So
where was the baby shower?
Tekka in Newtown Square.
Yeah, I know where it is. That's a nice place.
Yeah, the leftovers for the last 2 days were delicious, so I'm sure everybody enjoyed it when it was hot and fresh.
Nice. All right. So what is your favorite? What is your favorite item that you got?
So it was funny. Erica's got a thing against dinosaurs. And at the 5K in March, my buddy's sisters were there, and they were like, "Oh, we love buying dinosaurs for baby boys," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, like I don't care." Like, I thought it was hilarious, and they're sending me pictures of these little like triceratops slippers, and I was like, "Oh, those are cute as hell." And someone actually bought them for us, so that was pretty funny. That one made me laugh, and he's gonna look like a baller when he's wearing them.
Ah, that's awesome. So think of Mike makes right. He's right by Tekka. He could have came by and
yeah, he could help me carry some shit.
There you go. All right. So like what it wasn't, because it was, I think, after we had number 2, because after you have the second one, you don't have the showers, you have the sprinkles.
You get sprinkles.
It's sprinkle. And I think everybody chipped in and got the double-decker stroller, because the double wide isn't convenient because it's so wide. So they're not that they're inexpensive, but they're not like, I'm telling you, and thank God people helped us with it, but the double decker, the one on top of each other, which also then can be a single, it cost more than my first car that my dad bought for me. It did. Yeah, it was like $700. This damn thing.
Our store was more than that.
Yeah. So and like you know how they have it's like a wagon, but it folds up, but it's really sturdy. I don't know if you've seen kids, and you can put four kids in them. Those things are like $1,000, and they're awesome. But our kids are too old for it.
Some of the stuff's insane.
All right. Well, congratulations. I'm glad you had fun. I am wearing from my 5K that I did.
Look at you
on Friday night. There you go. It's the Springford Educational Foundation 5K. It was rained out April 11th, and it happened this past Friday. There was people that
won the whole thing.
Yeah, I read it. Come on, dude. I've been working out at Orange Theory. 32 minutes. 32 minutes.
That's pretty good. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, 32 minutes. So like a lot of the dads were like, "You'll never beat your daughter." And Lena's 7.
I was gonna say your daughter's like not even 10.
so, dude, my initial reaction was, "I'll crush her." And they're like, "No, you won't. You don't realize these kids have endless energy." So I'm like, all right. And then they told stories of their daughters beating them. And these, it's not, like it's not Steve Prefontaine I'm talking to. It's dads from the neighborhood. But still, it's like, all right, well, I guess if they like train for it or whatever, they didn't train for anything. Because I crushed Lena. She's 7. As a lot of people told me she's 7. What did you think? And I'm like, I listen to these idiots.
What was her time?
She was better than, I don't remember. She was better than halfway for her age group. So you know this from your sister's run. Yeah. They do, like, I'm 40 to 49, and I was straight down the middle. I think there was 20 and I was 10th.
Okay.
And like, I was happy with it. It's the first 5K I've ever run in my life. I've never run a 5K before in my life. And like, I ran the whole way. I wasn't totally dead at the end of it. And like, people were like, "Oh, you're in pretty good shape." And I'm like, "Well, not really, but yeah, like I'm
not about to pass away."
Yeah, I'm not gonna. No, but the Orange, like I was at Orange Theory. I go on Wednesdays at noon, and it's definitely helped with my endurance because you're not running straight, but you're doing bursts and all outs, and I got killed today. It was a terrible workout today. So anyway, you do your CrossFit, so you're doing all this crazy stuff anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first year we did the 5K, and I did absolutely zero training for it. I did it in like 26 minutes, and I couldn't walk for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so it's 32 minutes is
so
that's not bad at all.
It was muddy as hell. I really have one pair of sneakers that I work out with or I run with.
Yeah.
And I knew it was good. I didn't realize it was going to be this muddy. I didn't know what the
it wasn't.
I didn't know what the course was.
I was gonna say, what was the course?
It was 90% on the grass.
Oh,
it's like you're running on the street, and then you're going down, and you're essentially running around the Springford High School complex, which is big. So I think you ran around the whole thing like 3 times, and there were people wiping out and falling from the mud. Honestly, it looked like
what's not supposed to be cross country.
It was fun. What do they do where they're all muddy at the end of it? What's that whole run thing called or whatever? You know what I mean?
Steeplechase or the steeplechase?
Ironman. No,
the bike, run, and swim.
But they're always muddy at the end of it. Everybody was muddy like that. I washed my shoes and like it was all right.
Oh, that's the Spartan race.
Whatever it is, everybody was covered in mud afterwards. But it was very good. It was a lot of fun. So we did that. And then I was at Kalahari. You know what Kalahari is, Delco Steve?
No.
It's an indoor water park in the Poconos. Mount Pocono.
Okay. Yeah. And I didn't know the name of it.
It's like you're going, there's a couple of them up there. It's like you go to a hotel bigger than the Tropicana. Well, maybe, I don't know how many stories high the Tropicana is, because this is only 5 high, but there's like 2 big like wings. And there's a lot of hotel rooms there. It's big. And it has a couple of restaurants on the inside or whatever. So we were there. We got there Sunday. We stayed all day Monday, and we left on Tuesday.
Nice.
And yeah, and that was pretty cool. Indoor water park, lots of slides. And
is that your Memorial Day weekend celebration a weekend early?
So the kids didn't have school on Tuesday because of in-service. So we just took them out, and we went with 5. There's 5 families total.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice. And we got a 5-bedroom suite, and the suite was ridiculous. Not like nice ridiculous, but big rooms and bathrooms in every room and big common areas. Yeah, no, I feel like I was in Atlantic City, but a Vegas style suite.
Yeah,
and there's a pool. There was a pool table in lieu of a dining room because there was a big counter for. Well, no, there was actually there. So there's a pool table, and there was like 3 different TV areas and stuff. It was awesome. Had a good time. Yeah, I had a really good time.
You got any plans for Memorial Day weekend?
No.
Chill.
Yeah, there was no there's the rain. It's not going to be nice anyway, so
that's true.
It's going to be miserable. So anyway, all right, that's what we were doing. And the bathrooms were actually much nicer than Wawa bathrooms. No, like everything was new, but also there was what a sticky hand is, like it's like something you get in like the gumball machine. It's like this hand that
hands.
Yeah. So we walk into our bedroom. There's a sticky hand on the ceiling.
Well, there's worse things that could be on the ceiling.
Right. That's what I said. And I'm like, you know what? If we came
something else that was sticky that got ripped off.
Well, I can guarantee you, I didn't do any of that. That's for sure.
Don't bring the black light out.
Yeah, no, definitely don't do that. All right, so I was pleasantly surprised today when the Tush Push didn't get banned.
I couldn't believe it. I was shocked when the notification came across my phone.
I was shocked too. And that loser Diana Rossini, who just always can never get anything right, just totally makes stuff up. This is another instance of it. And you know what? And here's why it's skeezy. All right, I'm bringing it in right now. This is what she tweets out this morning because I saw it. Hours away from the owners' vote surrounding the future of the Tush Push, and I'm told both the league's competition committee and players' health, blah, 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 have voted the ban to play. Despite the Eagles' best efforts, the Tush Push is likely on its way out, sources say. So that's Diana Rossini at like 9, 10 o'clock this morning. And you know what? It's fine. She said the Tush Push is likely on its way out. But isn't that what everybody was saying? Wasn't she just more or less taking what most people were saying, and someone in the league office probably used her and said, oh, yeah, it's getting voted out. Or just somebody in the league was like, yeah, it's going to get voted out, right? Instead of actually being a reporter. That's my issue with all of these insiders.
Yep.
And I pick on Diana Rossini the most because she's most guilty of it.
I feel like Schefter probably gets more strays from you than Diana Rossini.
Oh, you haven't been. I've been killing Diana Rossini for the last couple months or last couple weeks. But yes, Schefter gets a lot. But you know what? Schefter at least knows what to do. She deleted that tweet.
Oh my God!
And didn't address it. Acted like it didn't happen.
You definitely can't. You definitely can't go delete it.
And you know what I learned today? That she does it a lot because everybody was commenting like, "Oh, another deleted tweet." So. Like, here's what you do. Diana, I know you're probably watching right now, and your husband's from King of Prussia or is a local person. He's an Eagle fan. You've complained about it before. But here's what you do. I'll give you a little advice. What you do is you go around and you talk to your contacts in the league. Text the general manager get a feel for how many teams are actually voting this down. Like a real reporter would have been reporting like, I talked to about a dozen teams, and they
all
told me, yeah, like there's no detail. It was sources say it's likely on the way out because somebody from the league office told you that. That's what everybody else is saying. So you put that in there as real news, and then you delete it like a loser. That's a loser move. You know what you do? Because everybody's wrong all the time. It doesn't matter. You can say, you can explain yourself. You can say that, well, I had spoken to a number of teams, and everybody seemed to think that there were going to be enough votes to get to 24 to ban the Tush Push. But there was none of that. There was no explaining. It was just, emergency pod. They didn't ban the Tush Push. She is an ultimate fraud. She's the biggest fraud of any national insider that's out there. And it's just the truth. At least Schefter knows what to do with it and everything else. Total loser.
I mean, and instead of deleting it, you could even like just play into it and just like quote tweet it and be like, "Whoops!" Like didn't get just missed that.
Right. You don't
like that. Just steer. Like if you're gonna get criticism for it, at least steer into it and be like, "Oh, I'm one of 10 other people that thought this was going out the window."
She said likely. By the way, it missed by 2 votes, so it's not like she wasn't clueless on it, or it wasn't like all she had to do was retweet it and say. It came up 2 votes short, and it did not use Jason Kelce as an excuse because maybe that happened. He could have swayed votes. More on that in a second. Jason Kelce addressed the owners. Jeffrey Lurie addressed the owners. Teams could have changed their mind. I don't think that happened. So I don't think she really had any idea whether or not it was likely to be banned other than what 1 or 2 people told her because she's a fraud of a reporter. But anyway.
If she talked to 15 teams and hypothetically speaking, 12 of them told her that. I mean, obviously we know she didn't do that, but if she spoke to 15 teams and they're like, "Oh yeah, 12," like 12 of them said we're voting against it. There's like, "Oh, out of half the teams that I've talked to, or half the teams in the league that I talked to, their majority that said they're voting it out." So I think it's going to be blah blah blah.
Like, if you have contacts and you trust 10 teams around the NFL, GMs, whoever it is, and what they're telling you, then I think it's safe to say, okay, like this is the way I'm feeling about it because they have a sense from talking to their contacts, right? Like that's why you have these relationships is you get a sense for what's going on around the NFL. She's just regurgitating. She's reading Pro Football Talk and she's regurgitating what everybody else is saying. whatever they say. It's crap.
Isn't the competition committee and whatever the player safety committee, they don't get a say on this.
It doesn't count.
I'm not
They
positive,
could recommend something.
Right.
No, it's the 32 owners. They're the votes. They need 24.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
But there's no owner. I mean, I'm not positive on this, but I feel like there's no owners on those committees.
There.
Like it's on those other committees, like the competition committee and
I believe
stuff like that. I thought it was mostly coaches and GMs kind of thing.
Who is on the league's competition committee?
There we go. It's ChatGPT.
No, and you're right, because like Sean, so the Rich McKay, who was with the Buccaneers for a long time, he's been down with the Falcons. Stephen Jones, Todd Bowles, the vice president of the Bengals. So it's you're right. It's not just an owner, but there is an owner, but he's also not Jerry Jones on it. So yeah,
it's because like Mike Tomlin's on the competition.
All right. So there's Tomlin, McVay, McDermott. John Mara is an owner. He's on there.
Okay.
John Lynch, general manager. Chris Greer, general manager. Todd Bowles, coach. Executive vice president of the Bengals. And then you have Rich McKay and Stephen Jones. So there's one owner on it.
And Stephen Jones, if you want.
And the Cowboys. Jerry Jones actually had some really interesting things to say about it. So let's do it, because I think there's a Seth Wickersham of ESPN. Like, this is a real reporter. Not like Dianna Russini. And one more thing on Dianna Russini, and it's the most random thing in the world, but it drives me nuts, and I bring it up to this day. When Julio Jones went on the trade market from the Falcons, she reported that, let me see if I can fix this, because I'm not centered. Hold on, I have my AI camera on. Come on, AI camera. There it is. It'll center me a little bit. All right, she reported that there were multiple teams that were interested in trading a first-round draft pick for Julio Jones. And immediately I called it out and said that's BS. There's no first-round draft picks being offered for Julio Jones. The Falcons are obviously using you as a pawn, and you just put it out there. Because a real reporter would have went, okay, let me text Julio Jones's agent. Hey, Julio, let's talk. How many teams are interested? Because the agent's going to know. Because the agent's having contract discussions with teams, right? So the agent knows what's going on. Okay, there's multiple teams. Hey, I'm really close with Howie Roseman, the GM of the Eagles. Hey, Howie, what are you hearing about Julio Jones? You know, Howie hears everything that's going on. You think that they're going to get a first-round draft pick for Julio Jones? He would have laughed at her and said no, like everybody else. Instead, she just tweets it out. And they didn't get a first-round draft pick for Julio Jones. Of course they didn't. And she reported there were multiple offers for first-round draft picks being used as a pawn without doing your job and vetting the information. That's why she's crap. Anyway, I'm sorry. I can't help it. I can't help it with her. She is so bad. Oh, let's do an emergency pod on the Tush Push. It didn't pass. Oh my God, you deleted the tweet. You loser. You loser. Loser.
Just take the L.
Yeah, like it came close. Just oh my God. All right, so Seth Wickersham, ESPN. I'm gonna read passages from it. And this is the headline. Tempers flare as Eagles defend Tush Push in heated debate. Blah, 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 blah. All right. So Philadelphia Eagles owner Jeffrey Lurie made an impassioned speech in defense of the play. The Eagles in the NFL declined comment, but sources close to Lurie told ESPN that he had seen reports from earlier in the day and that the Tush Push was going to be banned. So he figured the odds of the play's survival were long. I agree. I was really surprised that they didn't ban it. Really surprised.
I think if they left it as is, it would have gotten banned. Like, or just in regards
16.
to like that play.
It was 16.
No, I know that, but I'm saying if they figured out a way to rework the rule,
they tried
the proposal with just involving that play, though, not pushing and pulling.
Oh, okay. Anybody.
Because they just got to the point where it's like, all right, it's ridiculous. The week one, there would have been controversy over that rule just on pushing and pulling players. Because as soon as a running back gets stacked up by two DBs and the whole offensive line comes up behind him and start pushing them, who's going to be the ref that throws the flag on that?
It's a good point.
And then it's like, okay, so you're going to be the jerk off, the first ref that throws the flag on that's been a play forever. And then all the fans that got flagged on are going to freak out. And then if they don't throw the flag, everyone's going to be like, oh, well, I thought that was the new rule. And so there was no win, I feel like, on that. I'm surprised they actually got the 22 with that proposed part of the proposal. But just on the Tush Push being banned, I'm not being banned. I'm surprised.
All right, so toward the end of the speech that lasted close to an hour, Lurie made an analogy, telling the room that regardless of whether the play was bad, it was a win-win for the Eagles, adding it was like, quote, a wet dream for a teenage boy, end quote, to create a play that was so successful that the only way for it to be stopped was for it to be banned. Troy Vincent was mad as hell. And
our wet dreams were a little bit different when we were kids.
chastised the Eagles owner for the wet dream comment, specifically for saying it in front of women in the meeting, which he probably did have to say that. You know what Jeffrey Lurie was doing? Because I'll finish reading it. Jeffrey Lurie was like, you guys. Because he knows.
Called them all bitches.
So before I continue, Mike Florio's now reported this. It's been in a couple different places. The Packers actually really didn't really care about this rule. But because there's not an owner on that team, Roger Goodell and Troy Vincent decided that they were going to be the team that took this on and tried to get it banned. This is a mandate from the league. The league tried to stop this. The league is looking ahead and saying what happened in the Washington game, where all they're trying to do is jump off sides and time the play. That's the recipe to get rid of that play and to make it really bad. What did Washington care? They're going to lose the game. So they're going to try to, if you can't stop it, what else are you going to do? Teams can't stop it. So what are they going to do? The league's worried about it. So instead of going about it the right way, they tried to push the medical side of it, which was BS. And then they tried to get teams. And then they tried to rewrite it. And then they're trying to use politics to get everybody to vote against it to get it out. And it didn't work. And Jeffrey Lurie knew that the league was trying to F the Eagles over this. So he's sitting up there with a big FU to him. Lurie spoke for several more minutes, adding that whoever voted to ban the play would be taking liability for putting quarterbacks at risk. He criticized NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and Vincent for advocating the ban, adding that he had spoken to NFL Chief Medical Officer Alan Stills at length about the play. So the league has tried to say that the Chief Medical Officer for the NFL, Alan Stills, said that it was a dangerous play. And that's how it's been packaged for the consumer and for the fan. Hey, our chief medical officer is saying this is a banned play. He called out Roger Goodell and said that he's spoken to the chief medical officer at length about the play. And he's calling BS on what the league is saying. And then they brought in their secret weapon, Jason Kelce, who addressed the room. And Jason Kelce spoke about it from a player standpoint. And I saw some people saying that they called the speech generic. And I saw another person that said that it influenced them to see from a player perspective, because it's been said by everybody that Kelce was saying that he couldn't do it anymore. He would have been injured. He couldn't have done the tush.
Yeah, he retired because of the tush push.
Right. And Kelce said that's not true.
He came out on the podcast today and said if he could run 80 tush pushes every Sunday, he would come back out of retirement.
Art Rooney of the Steelers said that Kelce's perspective is that the tush push is a safe play and not something we need to worry about that much. So he said that that's what Kelce had said, that it's not something you need to worry about. Rooney also said Kelce may have swayed teams that were undecided on their vote, adding that more teams could embrace the tush push during their off-season practices now that the play is not going away. So there you go. One person called it generic. Another person described it as a spirited conversation sparked by Kelce.
And Jerry still voted against it.
They did. Yeah, like you were going to get teams that are going to vote against it regardless. Jerry Jones pointed out potential issues with the play, and Kelce said he understood where the Cowboys owner was coming from. Multiple sources noted that it was refreshing to hear about a rule and its impact from a player's perspective, and it could lead to more players weighing in on significant potential rule changes. Jerry Jones told Jeremy Fowler, ESPN, any play that's out of the ordinary gets extra scrutiny because of the competition. That's the fun part of having these meetings, and here we are. The world champion is the main focus of the tush push, and here we are debating it and having to decide, am I really going against the tush push, or do I just want Philadelphia to not have an edge? And I sit there and I fight that too. And it's so true. Jerry Jones has always said he cares more about the buzz and people talking than winning. He has never, like when the NFL was in the headlines for the wrong reasons, he didn't think that was bad. And he's right. Because if they don't have that stupid meeting, we're not talking about the tush push. Go online or go on ESPN or go on Twitter. Everybody has an opinion about the Tush Push. It's awesome. I love it, love it, love it.
Random on the same topic though. NFL being hypocrites. Do you get NFLshop.com emails?
No.
They sent out an email with advertising a push on t-shirt saying the Tush Push is staying.
Oh, so now let's make some money off of
like,
it.
I couldn't believe it. I'm going to pull it up. Let me show you. I couldn't believe it. I was just laughing hysterically. Like, come on.
Oh my God.
Come on. It's like you want it gone, and now you're gonna you're gonna be a hypocrite and be like, well, people, dumbass Eagles fans are gonna buy this.
Of course they are. Well, the Eagles put out a tweet right away saying push on, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah, they pretty much took the same. Well, the picture the Eagles posted was with the Packers. This is like down the line, but either way, they're a bunch of it's I don't know. They're all a bunch of hypocrites.
Yeah. So they like I saw, and like he doesn't really believe this, and I and I'm sure Jack made a good argument against it and pissed some people off, but I just saw a tweet. Jack was saying, "What's the big deal? Why is everybody celebrating the Tush Push not being banned?" Well, because the Eagles do it better than any other team, and if they wouldn't be able to do it, they would still be better at doing a QB sneak than anybody else. But that's really like that to me. That's not why I'm celebrating it. I'm celebrating because this is a win. This is a win for the Eagles. This is a win for, you know what? We're standing here at the top of the NFL. We're coming off a Super Bowl. We've been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. We've won 2 Super Bowls with 2 different coaches and 2 different quarterbacks. And here we are. And you're trying to ban our play that you can't stop. And guess what? F you. We figured out a way to at least have one more year. We brought in Jason Kelsey. We did something other than just say, you know what? You shouldn't ban it, and here's why. Right? Jeffrey Lurie giving a friggin' wet dream comparison. And he's right. You know what? You want to ban this play? Then guess what? Ban it, because you couldn't stop it. And you know what?
We're going to beat your ass another way.
Dude, it feels good to have a team that can actually have confidence. Like, you know what? Like, when we want to feel good about the Phillies, do we really feel good about the Phillies? We're just waiting for the offense to go south, and then we're going to bail again on them and say they suck and fire Rob Thompson. There's confidence with this team. And I had it all last year. And to have our owner, Jeffrey Lurie, stand up there and give the double middle finger to Roger Goodell and criticize him in front of everybody, you know what that's saying? That's saying, yo, bro, you know what else we're talking about? We're talking about extending your contract. I write your friggin' check, dude, not the other way around. I'm in charge, and we're the best team in the NFL right now, and we're an elite franchise. So you remember that, Roger. I write your checks. It's not the other way around. And it felt so good to actually see that, because whether it was the Eagles or it was another team, that dude needs to be put in place because he is a scumbag, Roger Goodell.
Oh, dude, I've been saying since he took over, he's easily the worst thing that, in my opinion, that's happened for football. I'm trying to pull it up right now. How long? You know how long he's been? He's been the commissioner since 2006. Like, that's
I was gonna say 20 years.
Way too long at this point. I'm not saying he hasn't done good things for the game, but and definitely the player safety stuff over the years has definitely been a needed thing in the sport. But it's also like jumped the shark a bit too, where like I can't get over the here's a little tap on the head, but he touched the head, so it's automatic roughing the passer. It's like you let that stuff into the league and you don't bitch and complain about that. But here's actual football, here's actual plays, and we're gonna cry like, these gotta go. As I actually heard someone make this comparison. Is the Tush Push more or less dangerous than a receiver running over the middle with a high thrown football?
Less. Of course it's less.
It's like that. We're not saying wide receivers can't run slants over the middle, though.
Football's a dangerous game. This is like, all right, no, seriously.
There's a car accident on every play.
If you handed the ball off to a fullback or to a running back who's going to go high speed in that pile, is there more of a chance for an injury on that play, or with Jalen Hurts getting low and trying to drive his way a yard into the end zone or for a first down? Yeah. Clearly, you know what the answer is. But it's like, Delco, Steve, here's because honestly, like, if there was another commissioner, it feels like to me the NFL sells itself. You don't need to have a genius to market the NFL. Like, the product sells itself. Roger Goodell was the commissioner for like the last 20 years, which is look at the values of franchises, look at these TV contracts, look at what the NFL has become, a freaking monster. I got to give him credit. If all the people that want to not give Nick Sirianni credit because, he doesn't call plays, he doesn't do anything. Well, guess what? He's the head coach and they win. So I'll just say, like, whatever. Roger Goodell's made a lot of money for the NFL. He's made a lot of money for the owners. He's made a lot of money for himself. He's making 30, 40, $50 million a year.
Yeah,
whatever.
Especially when your salary is a percentage of what the league makes.
Right. But here's what bothers me. And it's very political and a politician way of doing it. It's just making stuff up and putting a propaganda campaign out there. And like the Diana Rossinis and the pawns around the league are used in it. Like not to go politics here, but when the United States invaded Afghanistan or invaded Iraq, it was because they had weapons of mass destruction. And they have it. We know it. We've seen it. We know it. And really what they did was they used the media to drive home the point, to drive home the narrative is they have weapons of mass destruction. So then when they didn't have it, it's like, oh, well. And the people didn't care. People still supported it. They didn't.
Yeah, everyone's like, it was worth the risk in case they did.
Well, but so they just made stuff up. There was no evidence that was actually the case. They made stuff up. Just like they were making stuff up with this. They have the medical officer saying like, he's saying it a dangerous play. Jeffrey Lurie makes it clear that he says it isn't a dangerous play. There's 0 data points to suggest that it's a negative play. 0. There's 0 injuries around the play. And yet it's being used as this is a dangerous play. This is why we need to get rid of it. You know what they should have said, Delco Steve? We think that it's aesthetically it's a bad play. We don't like the fact that teams are now disrupting and like focus on the pace of play, which Washington did last year. Focus on that. Focus on the fact that it's just like we don't think it's fair to push players from behind. It used to be a rule. And we're going back to that rule that we took off the books 20 years ago. 20 years ago, you couldn't push players, pull players, drag players. You're going back to that rule.
I feel like if they changed the rule to like behind the line of scrimmage, like you can't push and pull players behind the line of scrimmage, then it would have been the rule would have got passed.
All you had to say is the real reason why. It has nothing to do with injury. They decided.
No, I agree with you on that.
It had nothing to do with injury. So why try to make a case that was their case? It wasn't about the aesthetic look. It wasn't about the pace of play. It was, injury. Injury. Like, shut up. That's why I'm enjoying this because they tried to lie to get it passed and they lost.
Anytime Roger Goodell takes an L, I enjoy it. But like you could even tell with Goodell's quotes, like as the process went on, where they were talking about like, the chance of injury. Then it turned into, there's a potential for injury on these plays.
Right. It doesn't happen yet. You have to look ahead to what could happen.
Right. All of a sudden there's potential. It's just, what's telling you there's potential when we've been running it for 3 years? It's like 108 times over 3 years just for us isn't a small sample size. Like that's
0 injuries.
That's a lot of plays. Like
0 injuries.
Yeah.
Not one.
It's like how many kickoffs are there in a given season that they're like, but like one guy got a concussion on it, so we gotta.
Steve, there's a better chance on a 3rd and 1 if you hand it to a monster like Saquon Barkley if there being an injury, or handing it to a fullback that's going to go head first into the pile.
That was this other rule that I hated years ago with like the running back like lowering the crown of your helmet. That's a dangerous play. It's still not called. Like,
no, it's not.
Unless it's in the wide open field and it's like, and he knocks a dude out with it. It's not called.
Whatever. Screw them. You know. So to answer Jack's question of why it's such a big deal, because you know what? They tried to screw us and they lost. They tried to lie. They tried to ban a play and they lost. And the good guys win again. And this is a great one, Tim M. And I enjoy you watching because you always have the best comments out there. One of the best comments. You and Vince. And Mike's been good tonight as well. But yeah, the weird Eagle fan that hates Jason Kelce. It's just like the weirdest thing ever.
What,
I don't know.
Because they rooted for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl?
Because he was all upset with Travis or whatever. I don't know. There's been lots of reasons. He's a traitor. It's just more than this. Right. Yeah, like Joe DeCamera's an idiot. He wants the Tush Push ban. No, he doesn't actually believe that.
He's a troll.
Yes, this is what he says. In order to do that, which is very successful and people find it highly entertaining, you need somebody to be that guy. Today, Jack was that guy. If I have to explain to you why this felt good as an Eagle fan to give the FU to the league and for Jeff Lurie to stand there and to give Roger Goodell the finger, then I don't know what to tell you, brother. I don't. I'm so happy.
I'll tell you, my next real enjoyment will be when the Bills run it, and if they get stuffed, like the next time they run it and it gets stuffed, I will cheer because those a-holes were voting against it, and they run it, second most in the league.
Yep, screw you, Sean McDermott. I no longer like you anymore. You got used as a pawn for the injury stuff as well, and he's the one that said, yeah, but there could be injury. Like, yeah, okay. There could be injury.
Random question. You might know the answers. Who's the Packers representative for all this?
Mark Murphy is their president. So
and how does he get hired? Like, I've always been curious about this whole process.
There is a board like any publicly traded company. There's a board of directors, and the board of directors vote on the CEO or the president or whatever. So,
from the people on the board.
Right. And the people on the board have stakes in the team and have influence. So if you get 5 people on the board that wield all the power, then they can do whatever the hell they want. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's the case, but yeah, he is and I go to Pro Football Talk if you haven't read any of this stuff. Mike Florio is he is such a pain in the ass. He digs deeper than anybody. And he's saying that the Packers really didn't care. And now the fingers can be pointed at them as losing. It's like, oh, you lost, ha, 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 ha. When in reality, the league lost. They're the ones that wanted to ban.
Well, the floor had in last month, the last owners meetings down in Florida, he had nothing to say about it. He's just like, I do not care. But people were asking him question after question after question. And he never gave into saying like, oh, this was me, or like, I agree with the team. He was just, it made no difference to him. Why you have guys like Sean McDermott going, oh, like we should ban it, and we blah 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 blah. But yeah, no, they're getting a bad rap for it, I guess at this point.
I think the Bucs voted against it. Todd Bowles said he wouldn't vote against it. It's not his decision, right? Like maybe some teams allow more influence for head coaches. Like did Jonathan Gannon? Did he have?
I was literally about to say Jonathan Gannon and Steichen booted out of the family at this point.
Yeah, I don't think they care either what either one of those losers have to say. And I don't mean that about Steichen. I shouldn't say that about Steichen. But I don't think they care what these guys say. Steichen is a season away from being fired. Speaking of that, Indianapolis Colts owner Jim Irsay dies at the age of 65.
Out of nowhere. Was he at the? I need to know if he was at the meeting and then went back and took a nap or what.
Yeah. I mean, because of his past and the amount of times he's been to rehab and prescription pills and things like that. I don't even want to.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate.
Yeah, but like who knows? Who knows? But I do know this, that he was a giving man. He was a troubled man. Listen, his dad took the Colts from Baltimore and moved them to Indianapolis in the middle of the night. But
I had no idea GM at 24.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. He was running that franchise very, very early in his life.
No clue.
And it's all in his family still. He wants it to remain in his family. His oldest daughter, I believe, is the most involved in the organization. He was an interesting man. He played in a band. Yep. And they toured around. I know they played in Boston, like maybe last year before, or something like that. And he was a really interesting guy, but he also donated a lot of money to charities. He was known. I'd read this about him today. He'd go to games or like wherever with fistfuls of $100 bills and just give out $100 bills to Colts fans. Or he would go on Twitter and be like, "Hey, who wants to go to the game today? I got extra tickets." Or who wants?
Yeah, I've seen him do that.
The Super Bowl. Yeah. And he was big in the mental health too, which is something important to me. We don't talk enough about it. It's not something that's openly discussed as much as it should be. And he was really a champion of that over his years. So, 50 years of the team. Ball boy to GM the owner. So
Oh.
Jim Irsay died earlier today.
Don't go thinking you can move up the ladder like that though.
No.
I don't need to see you on the sidelines next year at the Eagles trying to be a ball boy.
I'm too old for it, man. I'm too old.
You'll be the owner of the Eagles by the time you're 90.
Man, dude, one last thing on the Eagles, and is Jeffrey Lurie not the best owner ever?
You're never going to hear me complain about him.
Bro, we've been raving about him since we started doing this.
But we're assholes for that too. Remember?
No, I know. But yeah, like he is just he's like when you're I don't think he's a billionaire, but when you're rich and
Jeff, I feel he's got to be.
Well, no, when he got divorced, he lost the billionaire status, but. And also, by the way, he's not liquid. So I guess he's technically a billionaire. He just doesn't have a liquid. But when
$5.3 billion net worth.
Dude, people used to be like, oh, he doesn't care about winning. He just wants to win 10 games so they can make the playoffs. And what I always said was, people with that much money, unless you're like the Bengals are losers, right? Like the Bengals franchise, they're losers. Of course you want to spend money. Of course, that's
you're ultra competitive.
That's the ultimate rich guy thing. To own an NFL team and to win a Super Bowl. If you're a rich guy, isn't that number one on the list? Isn't that a number one seed? And now he's won 2 of them.
Especially if that's your thing. Imagine like. Yeah, it's like if you're like, oh, you're a football junkie and you can do it. Hell yeah. It's like that'd be like if I had the money to be like, oh, you want to buy the Flyers off of Comcast? I'd be like, nah, I'm good.
and then you're winning Stanley Cups.
Yeah, like, dude, buying the Flyers and be able to like hold the Stanley Cup over my head, like, because I'm the rich a-hole that got them over the top. Hell yeah, sign me the hell up.
Yeah. For sure.
Jeff's great.
Pinch yourself with Jeffrey Lurie. This dude's unbelievable.
Can he buy the Flyers?
At this point, you would think that'd be great. There's no doubt they looked into the Celtics. It was just too much money, so he said, "F that." But yeah, Josh Harris. Josh Harris is like, when we talk about a billionaire, that dude can buy whatever he wants to. Jeffrey Lurie, like, this is a family business to him. It happens to be an NFL franchise. He bought it for $185 million. The dude has made a ton of money. And like also the autism stuff we had the autism run last on Saturday. Dude's raised tens of millions of dollars since he's been doing it. And it's a passion of him.
Every year.
Yep.
Every year, tens of millions of dollars.
There you go. Yeah, can Jay Schneider, the son of Ed Snyder, can he buy the Flyers back? You don't want that, by the way.
I just want not a corporation. How about that?
All right. Well, so what else do we have? Phillies winning. They're looking. They haven't lost to the Rockies this year. They'd be 6-0 if they hold on. They're up 7-3.
They should never lose to the Rockies.
Taijuan Walker. It's still hard to beat a team every time out there.
Yeah.
Taijuan Walker 4 innings so far, 3 runs.
Going 0-162. So
right. The Rockies are trying their best. They only have 8 wins. Harper with a home run tonight. He's hitting 279, 2 for 3. He was hitting 230, felt like week before. 8th home run. Trey Turner went deep. He's batting leadoff tonight. So Phillies are rolling. Hopefully they can hold on in this one. Aaron Nola with the injury. He goes to the IL.
The phantom ankle injury.
It was a smart move.
Yeah.
He needs to sit down for a little bit. But then Mick Abel comes up and now Paul Skeens.
Loved it. Strikeout laddered on Abel. It was great.
9 strikeouts. Is that what he had in his
5, 6? I got 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that was the highest they went up to.
Wow, man. That was awesome. So they have some depth in the minor leagues. They set him back down. Here's a problem. And here's the problem with Aaron Nola and the contract. I don't want to beat up on Nola, even though I've been proven right about him. It was a bad contract. It's going to be a bad contract.
That didn't take long to win that argument. That was what, a month ago?
all the assholes out there. I started retweeting their tweets with some dots because I was told I didn't know what I was talking about. Dot, 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 dot.
I said to you on your show that's kind of mean to say he's Joe Blanton.
Okay.
I would take Joe Blanton now over
Dot,
Nolan.
dot, 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 dot. But I
I'll
also
own
don't
it.
think
I was wrong.
no, but he'll be okay. Like he can't be this bad. That's not what I'm talking about when I say it's a bad contract. The problem is you have two young, inexpensive, emerging pitchers that have ace stuff. I don't think Abel's going to be an ace. Painter has a chance. They have ace stuff.
But he's good. He gets good. He could be a good top of the line.
He's got good stuff. He's got good stuff. With the current rotation, Jesus Luzardo, you want to get rid of him?
No.
Chris Sanchez, you want to get rid of him?
No.
He's under contract long term.
Especially after the contract he just signed.
He's making no money. Zach Wheeler.
Yeah, what was it? 6 by 24?
Right. Zach Wheeler.
I'm good. Yeah, no. He's not slowing down anytime soon.
Right? Like Andrew Painter. You want to get rid of him?
No.
Now Mick Abel. Ranger Suarez is either going to be traded or he's probably just going to sign somewhere else free agency. So he's already going to be gone. Right? So like you want the number 5 starter in your rotation to be a young pitcher that's not making a lot of money. That's how you balance building a team, especially if you have a cap that you're not going to go over and they have a cap they're not going to go over. It's like the right guard position on the Eagles. You can't pay Pro Bowl money to every single position on the team. The Eagles try, right? So how do you save some money so you can pay Kyle Schwarber $35 million a year and you can get all these other players? Well, you have to have some of your players not making a lot of money. And paying Aaron Nola $25 million a year to be a 4 or 5 at best is criminal. So where is he? Where is he in the rotation next year? Seriously, where is he in the rotation next year? Aaron Nola, what's the rotation next year?
Dude, you've waxed me with this one. So I don't know the way out of it because he shouldn't at this point, he shouldn't be in it. It's like Taijuan Walker's pitching better than him.
You know, what happens? Somebody gets injured, and it's like, thank God we still have Aaron Nola, even though he's making $27 million a year, $25 million a year. That's the only way it works out is if you actually need it. But even then, you sign a 5th starter, give him a 1-year contract for $5 million. He's under contract 6 seasons, 5 after this year. It's insane. He can come back and he can settle into being a 4 ERA guy, right? Like I'm not worried about that. The problem is Aaron Nola's best isn't good enough to have this contract.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Great, he can be a 4 ERA guy, but if he's not a sub 3 ERA guy when it matters, the contract doesn't matter. The contract's ridiculous.
Yep.
So yeah, it's like you could go, I don't know, I was about to say Sanzatello, but no, he gave up like 7 runs in 2 innings the other night. Like you could give a player, like you said, $5, $6, $7 million a year for 1 year for a 4 ERA, a 5 ERA. Someone that can eat some innings.
I blame ownership for it. I think this was an owner-driven contract because
they're like, he's our homegrown guy. We want to keep him. We don't want to see him on the Braves. We
drafted him. We love him. He fits in here. We like, you know, like it makes sense. You got to let that guy walk.
Is he a morale guy? Do you think he's
I don't think
a team
bad.
blue guy? That's like I was saying. Do you think he's like one of the boys there?
I think his teammates like him, sure. But do you lose something with him leaving? No, I don't believe that you do. And that's not a shot at Aaron Nola. I like Aaron Nola a lot. I think he's a good pitcher. I don't think it matters. And so let me ask you this, and this is something I talked a little bit about today. Talking about Kyle Schwarber, JT Realmuto will be due a new contract. When was the last time the Phillies made a difficult decision based on salary and said, you know what, we can't pay this guy. We can't afford to do it. We're going to have to make the tough decision and let him leave via free agency or let him leave Reese. Yeah. But like Bryce Harper made that decision easier. Yeah. Because of first base. I don't think he comes back anyway, but it's a good answer. I wanted Rhys Hoskins to come back. They weren't bringing him back at the number he was going to make in free agency, right?
I can't even think of slightly another player.
Jason Worth. Jeff Hoffman. And he's a reliever, so it doesn't really count. But Jeff Hoffman, I wanted him to come back. There were some teams were worried about his shoulder, but they made it like that's also $30 million and not $150 million they offered him.
But it's like I don't I think Jason Worth wasn't let go because, we don't want to pay him. I think he priced himself.
Yeah, priced him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more I think they could have paid. Like, we could have paid for Reese Hoskins, but they were just like, we could have gave Hoskins the same contract he got. They just chose not to because, like you said, because Bryce stepped into first base
and Kyle Schwarber was the DH. And
right. So, but I think Worth was just all right. Like you said, like, you can't pay every premium position. If he was worth $20 million on that, I don't remember what he got, but hypothetically speaking, if he was $20 million, they would have paid him $20 million, but he got 30, sort of thing.
Yep. Yeah, you're right, Mike. It was an emotional decision. It was more. It was a lot more than just baseball. And then the fallback is he never gets injured. He takes the ball every 5 days, and he's going to give you 3.7 ERA, and he's going to give you close to 200 innings every year. The problem is he's not doing that anymore.
He's doubling. He's doubling that in half the amount of innings.
Well, I mean, even if I want to say like that's not him, his stuff isn't as good. It's just not. So what happens in 3 years from now? What's his stuff going to look like then?
He's Jamie Moyer throwing 85 over the middle.
It is not going to look good. I can tell you that. So the point is, are they going to make a difficult decision with JT Realmuto? They're so pot committed on winning with this team. The problem is you allocated $25 million for Aaron Nola that you could have used to sign a position player that you need, or a reliever that you need, or to keep JT Realmuto and give him $20 million a year. Like, when are the Phillies going to make a difficult decision and say, yeah, we got to let him walk, or we got to trade him? Ranger's going to be that guy. But again, it's a numbers game. There's no spot for him in the friggin' rotation. So they're not letting him walk and not have that. They have starting pitching.
Yeah, I think letting Ranger walk is like peas compared to letting JT walk. Like, if you let Ranger and JT both walk, no one's going to talk about Ranger.
Agreed. I would give JT 2 years. I would offer him a 2-year extension. Defensively, as AJ points out, he's still a very good catcher. Offensively, it's like he's fine. I don't even care about that. Yeah. But he's a glue guy. JT's a glue guy. And if you're going with this core, I want 2 more years of JT. Because you don't have like, guess what? If you had a backup plan, then I'd be fine with moving on from.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of sold their backup plan to get Marsh with Ohapi or however you say his name.
Ohapi.
Yep. So it's like that was, if you still had him,
he'd be the guy and JT would be gone.
You'd let JT walk. And I think majority of people would be okay with that. The way, if Ohapi is playing the way he's playing for the Angels, if he was playing like that for us, we'd be begging for him to get more playing time.
Steven has a great point. At some point, needing to shake the core. Steven, I think they tried that this year and they just couldn't. They tried the one move that they could make was to try to add an outfielder, and they kind of did, but they're trying to move Bohm, and teams just weren't interested. Not for the price that they were asking. No, but you're right. But like, all right, so here's the question. Who are you moving on from if you're going to shake up the core? Like, trading Rojas doesn't count.
No.
Castellanos.
The core is Casty, Schwarber, Harper, Turner, JT.
They would have traded Castellanos if they could have. Teams weren't interested at that number. By the way, he's a productive player. So I have no problem with Castellanos. He's been a good player. What can you trade? Turner's he's not going anywhere. Bryce isn't going anywhere. Stott's not going anywhere. Bohm could be the guy, and JT could be the guy. I'd be surprised if JT.
Bohm, Marsh, they whatever. It's like they're not moving the needle though. If they move, yes, I can't pronounce anything. Especially, I feel like I get worse under pressure when I'm on here.
No, you do. All right. So the third baseman for the Phillies. What's his name?
Boom. Alec Bohm. Alec Bohm.
Boom. All right. What are some other ones in the chat? What are some other ones that you struggle with?
Yeah. He keeps saying I said Tayshawn. I did not say Tayshawn last week.
No, but you struggled with it before. So who's pitching tonight for the Phillies?
Taijuan Walker.
All right. You figured that one out. Nice job. Nice job.
I did butcher it once, but I definitely did not say Tayshawn.
And I didn't call you out on it. I just smiled and let everybody else do it. Yep. All right. No, you're there. No, believe me, you're a much bigger Phillies fan today than you were a year ago.
Oh, for sure. I've definitely embraced it a lot more over the last year.
Nola to Boston. Yeah, but Devers is hot. Devers is heating up. Devers is a good bat. I don't think you're.
I would do that trade in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that if I was Boston. Because of Devers and he's got a big mouth. He's an idiot. So you want to?
I love it. No, I love it. I embrace this like pettiness so much. I find it hilarious.
Yeah, I wished I was doing sports talk radio that day because it would have been a fun discussion.
I really hope someone in the organization told him to actually said, put your glove away. You're only batting. Because what he said is like, they told me to put my glove away. Now you want me to play first? Like, fuck you. Like,
no, but
it was great.
His teammates were pissed.
I'd be pissed if I was his teammate, but I'm not. So I'm just gonna laugh at it and love every second of it.
There you go. Hey, Sean Walker.
Maybe that's who's pitching this season because he's actually good. Taijuan Walker sucked.
Tayshaun Walker, 5 innings. He's eligible for the win. 6 hits, 3 earned runs. That's a fifth starter. That's Joe Blanton. You losers.
Yeah, but you're also still paying him way too much. You're also still paying Walker way too much money.
Yeah, I want him. But you know what? Thank God you have him.
Right, but if hypothetically speaking, if Walker was our fifth starter, making, let's just say it's $10 million. Is anyone pitching?
No, well, even the 18, at least it's almost done, right?
Yeah,
the contract's almost over. You can't say that with Nola.
No.
Yeah, but no. You know what? But you know what? Nola is what we saw from Nola last year is better. So, all right, what does he look like next year? If you look at Nola's numbers, he's every other year for the most part. He'll have a really good year. He'll have a not so good year. He'll have a pretty good year. He'll have a not so good year. And this is the other year. So if he comes in and has a 6 ERA next year, I'm going to put my head through the wall. I'm not going to be able to handle it. So he better freaking figure it out. At least pitch to a 4 ERA. And I'm never going to get over it because I thought it was a stupid contract at the time.
Yeah, you're a dog with a bone at this one.
Oh man, no, and I don't enjoy it. Don't enjoy it. Tim, they were never releasing him just because fans were like, just get him out of here, get him out of here. No, they actually played it right. And it was a good move by Dave Dombrowski. So there you go. What else do we have here before we get out of here? Since I started late. Sorry, I had a softball game in Pottstown. We actually played tonight.
Oh. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it actually wasn't too bad. It was cold and wet, but there wasn't a ton of rain today. It was just wet.
Dreary.
Yeah, it was like tomorrow. I don't think there's any more games because of Memorial Day, but we have so many makeup games because it's been so rainy. What else did
we needed it.
Oh, dude, the older I get, the more that I say that, oh man, we need the rain. I need to get fiber. Definitely need to eat pears to make sure I get proper fiber. And doing Kegel exercises for my prostate. It's true. All this is true as well. What else?
I thought we were going to make it through one show without talking about your prostate.
Nope. No, because I got to pee right now. Like what we've been on in an hour, and I'm like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. What am I missing? Did I have anything else? I guess not. I don't know.
Did we talk about the lottery last week with the Sixers? Was that?
Yeah, that was on Monday night.
That was Monday night. Okay.
Oh yeah, screw it. And so here's the last thing. What's the? Maybe people have heard me talk about this. Oh, the Knicks are laying a beating on the Pacers. Yeah.
Yep.
Ready?
Up 14 with 6 minutes left.
Ready?
Yep.
Sixers fans for the Knicks. Who's joining me?
I'm in 100%.
As a Sixer fan, I'm not renouncing my fandom, but I'm rooting for the Knicks.
Yeah.
Because you know what? They deserve it, and I deserve to be able to watch a team that I enjoy watching, and that's the Knicks. So
I also feel like for the NBA Finals to be something of enjoyment.
Yes.
I think if it's Pacers, the other versus either of the teams in the West, it might be pretty bad.
No, I don't care about that. I like this Knicks team, and when I watch them play, I root for them. They're really annoying. Jalen Brunson's really annoying, and he's a freaking great player. I love Josh Hart.
Cat. I love Cat.
I hate Cat.
I don't know.
I hate Cat.
There's something about him. I think he's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I don't like him, but I like the team. I love Dante DiVincenzo, but they traded him. But anyway, like I love guys with edge. The Sixers don't have anybody with edge. Joel Embiid had to whine and cry at a press conference to say sign PJ Tucker. And then they signed PJ Tucker and he sucked and they had to trade him away. So there you go, Joel Embiid. I want that to be my team. So you know what? Sixers fans for the Knicks. Who's in? Because I'm in and I'm starting it. And Black Gritty's mad at me and he's on with me tomorrow, but still. So
sorry, Gritty. I'm in with the Knicks. I mean, like you said, like we were talking about last week with the Nova guys. It's Philly North.
So and just like look at and it's nice they have the number 3 overall pick, but look at every story surrounding the Sixers now. It's like, oh well, no, they're not moving on from Paul George. Yeah, you think that there's a bunch of teams around the league that are going to give you value for Paul George after what you showed you last year? I get it. They're pot committed. They have Maxey, they have George, they have Joel Embiid. Guess what that isn't? That's not good enough to win anything. It's not even close. You know what Daryl Morey's tried to do? Daryl Morey's trying to do the NBA from when LeBron and D-Wade and Chris Bosh were around, where you go and you say, hey, I need 3 stars, and you do the super team. And that's how we're going to win. Yep, you're 15 years too late, dumbass. You see what OKC is? They're not a super team with 3 megastars and then you fill in the rest of the roster. The Knicks aren't like that. They have great players on their teams. Indiana's not like that. Who else is left? Who am I missing? Oh, Minnesota. Anthony Edwards is a super player.
Yeah, but they did. They drafted him 1 overall.
Who's the second best player on Minnesota?
Randall.
Right. Who's an all-star player, but he got traded. He just got in a trade. Yeah, he's like, I don't think he's a great player. He's a good player. They have really good teams. Daryl Morey, you missed the boat. You're trying to create these super teams. That's not what the NBA does anymore. You're behind. For all the AI and all the other nonsense and how, you know something about winning, you are living in the 2006s and 2007s, you dope. And this team's winning nothing. Joel Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, and some young player at 3rd overall. And you think you're winning next year. Dude, walk the plank. Goodbye. You're gone. Oh, my God. And that's why I'm rooting for the Knicks. That's why I'm a Sixer fan for the Knicks. Let's go, Knicks.
Do you see the Sixers trading 3 and George for something? Or one of your phrase, do you see the Sixers trading 3 to get out from underneath George?
No, because Daryl Morey needs to win now. I don't think he's like, if the plan was, and if ownership said, hey, yeah, we need to retool, let's take a step back, you're going to retool with Joel Embiid. You're going to say, hey, like, otherwise you just trade everything now and you keep Maxey, you keep McCain, you keep the draft pick. Or if you want to, like, if it's that important and you want to get rid of everybody, then fine, trade the 3rd pick to get rid of Paul George. They're not going to do that. Daryl Morey needs to win now or he's going to lose his job.
The thing I saw that somewhat intrigued me was 3 and Paul George to Utah for Larry Markkinen and other pieces. I don't even remember what it was. I think it was.
I saw it.
Like, I would be interested in that because Larry Markkinen is
a great player.
Young, and he's still under the age of 25.
Yeah, I mean, Utah sucked this year. I don't think that Danny Ainge wants to trade him.
Well, I think they sucked because they wanted the top. I think they sucked on purpose. They sucked on purpose, and they didn't get a top 3 pick. So now it's, now I can have a top 3 pick. And what did they end up at 5?
Yeah, I mean, they'd
have 3 and 5,
or you could trade back to 5 if they really like a player at 3. Right? I mean, Danny Ainge.
Is that getting you Paul George? Getting you out of Paul George though?
The one thing I do have confidence in Morey is a draft pick and moving back to get the player they want. Daryl Morey's not a total stooge. Brian Colangelo was a stooge.
He got fleeced by Danny Ainge.
Danny Ainge fleeced him. Yep. He got the player he wanted. He got high 1st round draft picks, and that was it.
He played him like a fiddle. It was so bad. It's like, but like we all knew it was happening too. Colangelo is the only one that didn't know that was happening.
Right. Pretty much. So yeah, so screw the Sixers. Let's go Knicks. And that means I hit on my parlay today. So the game's not over yet, but they're not losing this one. Rick Brunson. Over. Yeah. What's the over?
I think it was 121.
It's going over.
Yeah, that should be fine.
I had Jalen Brunson on the over in points. You see what happened last week with his game?
He ended on 29 at 29 and a half.
He entered the third quarter with 0 fouls. He got 5 fouls in 9 minutes of the third quarter. He fouled out in the fourth. And he
I did see that. Yep, I did see that.
5 fouls in the third quarter in the first 9 minutes of the third quarter. You kidding me? He went under in points. This dude's an over every time he's out there. Cat's had a good game tonight, 30 points.
Woo! I had 25, 20, and 25.
Leon Rose came in running the Knicks. That's a bad organization. That's a bad owner. And he put together a team of OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Cat, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart as your starters.
And he's literally gotten all of them in the last over a year.
And any team could have had those players. I mean, Brunson went to New York because of his dad and Leon Rose and everything like that. But still, anybody could have drafted Brunson. Anybody could have drafted Josh Hart. Anybody could have traded for Cat. And these are he's not trying to create a super team. These guys just play hard. The Sixers have no chance. Remember when they made the trade and Sixers fans were like, oh, yeah, we'll beat the Knicks now. We got Paul George. My ass. You have a soft old team, Sixers fans. When are we going to realize this?
Well, we said that from jump that Paul George didn't make sense to Paul George 5-6 years ago, perfect fit for what this team was doing. But how does Paul George fit into a three of Maxey, who's 24, 25-ish now, right. And Embiid's 29?
Yep.
It's okay, well, they're all 5 years apart. They're not gonna jive at the same time.
No.
It's when Maxey's hitting his peak, Joel will be leaving his. It's just math.
Embiid is cooked.
Oh, I know. I'm just speaking
of right. You're right.
I'm just talking about age frame wise. Yeah.
No, you're right. No, that's not going to work.
Yep.
They say that we believe in our core. Stop. It's not going to work.
But it's you look.
Wake up.
I know the Celtics run's probably done, especially with Tatum being out. But you look at their players though, Holiday and Porzingis are the old guys of the starting lineup. Everybody else is, younger. It's White and Brown and Tatum and Pritchard. It's they're all in the same age range. They're all going to grow together. That's the idea of having a core. The Sixers haven't grasped that.
All right. Oh, there you go. Well, Delco Steve, it's been fun, buddy. Sorry I was late, but my house is I'm getting a dining room table delivered tomorrow. And we still have our dining room table here because we're trying to sell it on Marketplace.
I got you. Yep, been there, done that. I have a couch and a chair in my garage right now with new couches and chairs in my living room.
I was finally got the kids to bed, and then we were taking everything out of the buffet and moving the table and moving the buffet because our delivery window is 8 to 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Ow.
So it's great. This is going to be fun. So we got it done.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
All right. Everybody, enjoy. We'll talk to you next week. Hold on. We got to get our exit music there, Delco Steve.
I dropped the ball on that.
Oh, I got it. No, it's all right. I got it. There it is.
Pot it up.
Let's do it. There it is. Spoken like a true professional. Pot it up. There it is. All right. I'll be on with Black Rudy tomorrow morning live. Philly with John Marks, 8 a.m. Watch it live or watch it on PHLY's YouTube.
You showing up in all Sixer stuff?
So I'll be working from here. He has his home studio too, but there's a couple of producers that are down with injuries and things like that, or vacations. So when that happens, they just say work from home. It's easier for them to find somebody to do an hour for me. So
yeah,
and I'm fine with it. All right, later.
Peace.